Okay. We acknowledge and pay respect to the past, present, and future traditional custodians and elders of this nation, and the continuation of cultural, spiritual, and educational practices of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whether you're joining us in the early hours from North America, the bright afternoon in Africa or South Asia, or the late evening here in Australia. We welcome you with warmth and gratitude. Today we gather here not just as lovers of poetry, but as a global community bound by empathy, conscience, and a shared sense of justice. We are especially honored by the presence of Dr. Abhaya's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Debnath. Your courage in the face of unimaginable loss humbles us all. We stand with you today and always. Yes, nearly a year has passed, but the memory of Dr. Abhaya and the brutal injustice she endured remains etched deeply in our heart. This global gathering is not only as an act of remembrance, it is a collective protest, a rising chorus that refuses silence, rejects complicity, and insists on justice. To each poet, artist, and cultural voice present here this evening, thank you. Your words, your music, your presence breathe life into this cause. Through verse, melody, and shared grief, we refuse to forget. Dr. Abhay's voice still echoes not only in our memory, but in our conscience, urging us to rise, to speak, and to act. Although they're your daughter, Mr. and Mrs. Debnath, we all think that she's our daughter as well. Together, we stand by you, and we will continue unless we see justice. To begin with, Mr. Tapush Maulik, a respected independent singer, composer, lyricist we have here on this platform, and he will be sharing with us a powerful, very powerful piece, and it's called Rate Dokhol Now, Reclaim the Night. Originally written by Bipul Chakraborty, and I think he's here with us. If not, he'll be joining us very soon. And we are very grateful to Mr. Dibojyoti Dr. Roy for translating the lyrics of this song. Mr. Maulik, I would like to say a little bit about Mr. Maulik. He has a distinguished career in engineering, but he's very passionate about music. He has written children's literature and literature for adults. He has authored 9 books and composed over 120 songs, and they're all available on the YouTube. So, Tapush, the microphone is all yours. Let's listen to the song.
Thank you. Namaskar. I hope I am audible clearly.
Perfect.
I don't know how the music will come because online transmission has some losses. Firstly, a short background of this song. There was a large-scale protest on the stroke of midnight of 15th August 2024 against, for this incident, brutal incident on 9th August. So that protest was named as Rate Dakhol Now, which is the first line of this song. And thousands and lakhs of people hit the streets of Calcutta and suburbs in India, in other cities also. When I joined that march, the tune came to me at that time. and the rhythm is matching with the rhythm of the march as we walked along with other people, hundreds of people. Then I requested Bipul Chakraborty to put the words into that tune, and then that this song was made. রাতের দখল নাও বন্ধু, রাতের দখল নাও তোমরা, রাতের দখল নাও, রাতের দখল নাও, রাতের দখল নাও তোমরা, রাতের দখল নাও বন্ধু। রাত্র সেদিন ঘাবড়াচ্ছে, রাত্র সেদিন ভয় পাচ্ছে, এই বুঝি ধরা পড়ে গেল তার, আধারে লুকোনো প্রাণ ভোমরা। রাতের দখল নাও বন্ধু, রাতের দখল নাও তোমরা, রাতের দখল নাও, রাতের দখল নাও, রাতের দখল নাও তোমরা, রাতের দখল নাও বন্ধু। রাতের আকাশ যদি তারাহীন, রাত ভর হয় যদি বৃষ্টি, রাতের আকাশ যদি তারাহীন, রাত ভর হয় যদি বৃষ্টি, চোখে চোখে দীপ শিখা জ্বলবেই, ঝাপসা হয় না যেন দৃষ্টি। রাক্ষস সেদিন ঘাবড়াচ্ছে, রাক্ষস সেদিন ভয় পাচ্ছে, এই বুঝি ধরা পড়ে গেল তার, আধারে লুকোনো প্রাণ ভোমরা। রাতের দখল নাও বন্ধু, রাতের দখল নাও তোমরা, রাতের দখল নাও, রাতের দখল নাও, রাতের দখল নাও তোমরা, রাতের দখল নাও বন্ধু। ঘরে ঘরে আজ সব ঘুমহীন, ঘরে ঘরে আজ যেন জাগরণ, ঘরে ঘরে আজ সব ঘুমহীন, ঘরে ঘরে আজ যেন জাগরণ। ছাপোষা বধূটি দেখো কালকের, যুদ্ধে নেমেছে সেও আমরণ। রাক্ষস সেদিন তড়পাচ্ছে, অকারণ ফোঁস ফোঁস করেছে, আসলে সে খুব ভয় পাচ্ছে, আসলে সে খুব ভয় পাচ্ছে। রাতের দখল নাও বন্ধু, রাতের দখল নাও তোমরা, রাতের দখল নাও, রাতের দখল নাও, রাতের দখল নাও তোমরা, রাতের দখল নাও বন্ধু। এই রাক্ষস সেদিন দূর হটবে, দিকে দিকে ছড়িয়েছে বার্তা, দিকে দিকে শোনো ওই কলরব, বস্তার কামদুনি হাতরাস, মৃত প্রাণ সব জেগে উঠছে, রাক্ষস দিন কাতরাচ্ছে, মৃত প্রাণ সব জেগে উঠছে, রাক্ষস দিন কাতরাচ্ছে, এই বুঝি ধরা পড়ে গেল তার, গেল 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 প্রাণ ভোমরা। রাতের দখল নাও বন্ধু, রাতের দখল নাও তোমরা, রাতের দখল নাও, রাতের দখল নাও, রাতের দখল নাও তোমরা, রাতের দখল নাও বন্ধু।
Thank you, Tapush. That was beautiful. And what a powerful song, and how powerful it was shared by you. And every note, every word carried the weight of our collective grief and resolve. Thank you for giving voice to what so many of us feel, but really we cannot say. Thank you, Taposh.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you, Dibujyoti Dr. Roy. I don't know if he's here with us for this translation.
The translation you can share if the time permits.
Yeah,
You can
it's
read
on the
out.
screen. Can you see it, Taposh? It's on
Oh,
the
yes,
screen.
yes, yes. I have not. I have missed it. Yes.
Of course.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to introduce our chair of this Global Poets Meet, and I just would like to ask Anjanadi, is Ognishika Jumjum, is she here yet? Do you see her, or can you contact her, please? Because she's the first speaker. Anjanadi,
Yes.
আপনি কি একটু কানেক্ট করতে পারবেন, ওকে জিজ্ঞেস করতে পারবেন ও আসছে কিনা? Okay, so this is the song, poem Ognishika shared with us, and she was supposed to read this. But while we are waiting a little longer for her to come, I would like to introduce the chair of our Global Poets Meet. And our chair is joining us from Canada, Vancouver. He's Herb W. Bryce, an internationally published poet, is the author of the Alzheimer's poems Chasing a Butterfly. He's also the official bard in the park with Royal City Literary Arts Society. He's the Writers International Network's distinguished poet and writer, medalist, and a former Rabindranath Tagore English Poetry Competition judge. He now lives and works in Langley, British Columbia, Canada. He has shared his knowledge at global empathy conferences since the inception. Welcome, Hab.
I thank you, Paramita, and the School of Australia for doing this with us all, sharing the word and so on. All the flowers have died. The wasteland lay smoldering, smoke wisps floating up like balloons from the rubble where there are no tunes, and all flowers have died. From the day when tornadoes hailed down, destroying this peaceful flowering, its rhythm is an unsyncopated band, and all the flowers have died. The trees have been smothered by ashes from fires with unrelenting power. Their air reeks like acrid gunpowder, and all the flowers have died. Men, women, and children are dead now, grandmothers and sisters and babies, stricken by missiles on wind, ravaged like rabies, and all the flowers have died. The monsters came. The monsters destroyed, replicating the war of the worlds. Hurricanes chewed up all the words, and the word was shot out of the air. Daffodils wilted, roses died on the vine. The flower of her father is trampled down. The grass of the land has all turned brown, and all the flowers have died. The dancing girls are dancing no more. The maypole has been down. They no longer play queen with the crowd, and all the flowers have died, and all the flowers have died. But forever to the end we shall defend. Forever will shine in the sun. The sun will shine again in the flower, our beloved flower, and the sunflower is again sunflowers. Okay. Here we go to the program, right? So here's a little biography of Anjana Basu. I'll just read through this first and then hear from you. That's the ritual. We do introductions by way of short biographies, and then the person does their guess this time. So Anjana Basu is of India. She born in November 1943. She passed her MA in Bengal and earned a diploma in Rabindra Sangeet from Dakshini, a renowned institution of Calcutta. Poetry is her passion. Her first collection of poems came out as a CD, recited internationally by an internationally acclaimed elocutionist, Sri Bharati Bandyopadhyay. I apologize for all the bad pronunciations here. Her second CD of poems came out under the supervision of guidance of Subhadeep Chakraborty, another famous elocutionist, and also of Bengal. Later, Anjani's two books of poems, Stabak and Mon Doriyar Chetu, were published in 2025. Shataru, a book of prose, also came out. It includes essays, travelogues, stories of ancient mythology, and memoirs. Her powerful poem, Woman, describes the essence of a woman in its completeness and contradictions as perceived by society. Poet Anjana Basu draws heavily on Hindu mythology to portray women as the source of power, energy, and victory, something gruesome and bloody. Could we all mute, please? Sometimes gruesome and bloody over the forces of evil, or as the gentle caregiver feeding the hungry masses, or the proud wife defending the honor of her insulted husband while she burned herself. Shino Masata Anaparna Sati, the trinity that defines a woman. Her powerful imagery brings each of these deities into life. She talks about the insult of Sita and Draupadi, the two women of Ramayana, and Mahabharata. I apologize for the bad pronunciation. The cruel one is unforgettable. Her unique poems bring into stark focus the contradiction of Indian society with respect to women. On the one hand, they are considered to be the central force upholding society. They give birth, they nurture, they keep the holy lamps burning. And when they are considered to be the source of all evil, their sexuality and desire drawing men down to eternal vortex of dark sin. Many reputations involved with women. The poet talks eloquently about how society tortures women relentlessly because it can't deal with their power. Okay, the podium is yours, Anjana Basu. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, our time is different, not tuned. First of all, I want to thank Paramita Roy to invite me to join this wonderful event. I should thank my friend Aparajita Sen for penning the gist of my poems in English. I am honored to share this same platform with eminent poets from different countries. I wish you all healthy, happy and long life. Thanks again. Be blessed. Now I want to say a few words for Abhaya. Lighting the candles will not help. We want justice, but how? I have no words to console Abhaya's parents. My only sword is pen. With that, I am trying and will try very best. My first poem is about woman, নারী। আমি অনু, আমি পরমাণু, আমি দেবতার অভিশাপ, আমি পদপিষ্ট যন্ত্রণা এক, আমি মুক্তিমতি পাপ। আমি অকাল বিধবা নারী, আমি একাদশীর নির্জলা উপবাস, আমি একাহারী, আমি শাকাহারী, আমি চরম সর্বনাশ। আমি অমরাত্রির আধার, আমি অশুভ ভয়ঙ্করী, আমার জঠরে জ্বলছে আগুন, তবু আমি ত্রিশিতের বাড়ি। আমি ভীষণা ছিন্ন মস্তা, আমি নিজ মাথা নিজে কাটি, আমি অন্নপূর্ণা, এক হাতে অন্ন বাটি। আমি সতী দাহে সতী, কোলে নিয়ে পতি, জ্বলে পুড়ে খাক হই, আমার গর্ভে জগৎ সৃজন, প্রসব বেদনা সই। আমি লক্ষ্মী, আমি কল্যাণী, আমি সন্ধ্যায় দীপ জ্বালি, আমি দেহ পসারিণী পতিতা, আমি সবার চোখের বালি। আমি সর্বংসহা বৈদেহী, আমি যাজ্ঞ শ্রেণীর অপমান, আমি ক্ষণার অমোঘ জিহ্বা, আমি প্রারম্ভ, আমি অবসান। আমি ঘোর কলিযুগে অন্তরিক্ষে কল্পনা চাওলা, আমি বিমান চালিকা দুর্বা, আমি আকাশে ভাসাই ভেলা। আমি বিজয়িনী অনিতা, আমি আকাশচারী, মহাকাশচারী, দুঃসাহসী কন্যা জন্ম, নহি সামান্যা নারী। আমি দক্ষ সাঁতারু আরতি, পেয়েছি পদ্মশ্রী সম্মান, পুরুষ শাসিত সমাজে করে নিয়েছি নিজের স্থান। আর দ্বন্দ্ব নয় নয়, আর কলহ নয়, নারী ও পুরুষে দুয়ে মিলেমিশে করব বিশ্বজয়।
It's passion. We're in for some treats today, aren't we? Okay, so speaker number 4, Vipul Chakraborty, a Bengali award-winning poet, lyricist, composer, and singer. In 2012, he was honored with the Birendra Puraskar for his poetry collection. His first book of poems, Tomar Marar Pela Shesh Hol, When Your Beating Ends, was published in 1980. Over his poetic career, his poems have appeared in various literary magazines. The mass movements of the 1970s gained a new dimension through his poetry and songs. Later, he continued to explore and experience in different creative directions. And apart from writing poetry, writing lyrics, composing music, and singing are key sources of strength and joy in Bipul's life. Her very powerful lyric, Ratar Deho Now Bandhu, sung by Tapas Malik, has become a powerful protest song of the Indian diaspora around the globe. So the microphone is yours, Bipul.
I'm Bipul Chakraborty, a poet in the Bengali language. It is very nice to meet everyone present here. I convey my regards to the chairperson, her and beloved Paramita Roy, and Tapas Dutt Maulik, who has already tuned, who has put my lyrics into tune so many times, and he has already sung one song today itself. My regards to all the participants. The reason why we have met is not necessarily for the pursuit of happiness. Art, it is perhaps true that it is not just about looking at the mountains or the sea or the sky, but also about observing the world of life that surrounds it. The pursuit of art is to be happy in the well being of that world, as well as to be saddened by its misery and to protest against the causes of misery. To understand my poem, I would request you to look at the translated version of the poem on the screen. My first poem, Churi, the scalpel, Churi, আরজিকর হাসপাতালের নির্যাতিতাকে মনে রেখে। ডাক্তারি পড়েছ তুমি, সে তো ভালো কথা। ডাক্তার হয়েছ তুমি, সেও তো ভালোই। তোমার চিকিৎসা তবু আমার হাতেই। শয্যার সঙ্গী, তারপরে মর্গে শুয়ে ঘুম। পুরুষ, পুরুষ আমি, তোমার শাসক। কঠোর বিদ্যার কালে ধরেছিলে ছুরি, গিনিপিগ, সাপ, ব্যাঙ কষ্টে কেটেছিলে। তোমাকে একটি কথা শেখানো হয়নি, সেই ছুরি শাসকেরও মুন্ড কাটতে পারে। তুমি নেই আজ, সেই ছুরিখানা আছে। তুমি নেই বলতে কেন কথা বাঁধলো মুখে। তুমি নেই বলতে কেন কেঁপে উঠল বুক। তোমার বন্ধুরা যারা জড়ো হয়েছেন, শত শত ছেলে মেয়ে উত্তাল উদ্দাম শাসকের মুখোমুখি, তুমি তাতে নেই। মাই সেকেন্ড poem is ও মেয়ে, ও গার্ল, তোমার মুখের দিকে তাকাই না আর, তোমার মুখের দিকে তাকাই না আর। বোরখা, ঘোমটা আর কপট স্তুতিতে ওই মুখ ঢাকা পড়ে আছে। সজ্জিত হাসির আস্তরণে ওই মুখ ঢাকা পড়ে আছে। আমি শুধু লক্ষ্য করি তোমার দুটি পা, আমি শুধু লক্ষ্য করি তোমার দুটি পা। কত যুদ্ধ, কাটা জমি পেরিয়ে পেরিয়ে তারা হেঁটে আসছে। কত ক্রূর দৃষ্টি, কত অ্যাসিড নিক্ষেপ পেরিয়ে পেরিয়ে তারা আসছে। মুখ নয়, লিখি ওই পা দুটির কথা। থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ।
Thank you, Vipulda.
Thank you, Vipul. Anita Patel, Australia, is a Canberra poet who was born in Singapore. Her two collections of poetry are Petals Fall from Recent Work Press 2022 and A Common Garment from Recent Work Press 2019. Her work also appears in publications such as Cordite Poetry Review, Mascara Literary Review, Cha, an Asian literary journal, Backstory Journal, Other Terrain Journal, Not Very Quiet, Plum Mountain Journal, Fem Asia Magazine, Eucalypt Tank Journal, and Canberra Times. Her poems are included in anthologies What We Carry, Recent Work Press, Australian Poetry Anthology, Volume 8, 2020, The Gift, This Poem by Puncher and Watman, and The Book of Birds, Recent Work Press. She collaborated with the renowned artist Annie Franklin to produce Heart Stitched in 2019 and Grief and Beauty in 2022. Busy poet here. Her poem Women's Talk won the ACT Writer Center Poetry Prize in 2004, and her poetry was selected for and published in Australian Book Review, States of Poetry Act 2018. Well done, Anita Patel.
That seems like a very long-winded biography. I'm really sorry you had to read all of that, Herb. I'm sure we could have edited that down a little bit for you. I have two poems tonight, and they're both quite short. The first one is called Cane Cutter's Bride. So many years ago, in the Museum of Fiji, I happened upon a section about Indian indentured laborers brought to work in the sugarcane fields. And there was this small faded newspaper photo of a very young bride who had been sent out from India for one of the workers in the early 1900s. And I thought of my own paternal grandmother who had an arranged marriage at a very young age, and I felt a profound empathy for this woman who was transported from her home, family, and culture to somewhere so far away. And I was filled with awe at the courage and resilience of women who just get on with the job of bringing up families and making homes, and, are often just treated as chattels. Cane Cutter's Bride, Museum of Fiji. Suddenly you accost me with silent sepia eyes, a sallow smudge of newsprint hidden among weapons and bones. You shrink and flutter like a frightened bird, trapped in the crimson mesh of your wedding sari. I am caught in your dark gaze, in the tattered trace of hands and face, ragged remnants of a fragile gift, carefully wrapped and dispatched with good wishes to an alien land. My second poem is a poem called Rosewater Women. And I don't know if many of you know about the Gulabi Pink Gang in India, but they've become quite renowned. They're a group of Indian women activists, and I think this poem really is really pertinent to the event that we're sort of here to commemorate tonight. So this group of Indian women activists fight discrimination and violence against women because they know that they can't go to the police, to the judge, to the court, to the government. There is no justice. And they've taken the justice into their own hands. So members of this group wear pink saris and they wield sticks. In India, we call them lathis. And the group originated in the Banda district in Uttar Pradesh, which is renowned for incidences of violence against women. This district has a large Dalit, untouchable population, and Dalit women are at the bottom of both caste and gender hierarchies. So we can only imagine how they are treated. Rosewater women. The Hindi word Dalit can be translated as divided, split, broken, scattered. Like a handful of rose petals flung into sugared water to flavor gulab jamun, soft, delectable, melt-in-the-mouth dumplings. But there is nothing soft or sweet about the furious jangle of 1,000 bare feet pounding the earth as a rose-pink army advances, undivided, ready to break and split and scatter, brandishing lathis like swords, seeking retribution with bamboo sticks, shaming the cruel husband, the rapist, the murderer, the thief, the wife-beater, the bully, unafraid to thrash a culprit black and blue, bringing the gulabi fragrance of whole and perfect roses into unsugared lives. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was wonderful. Jude is from my country, Canada. She lives on an island. Jude Neal is an award-winning Canadian poet, vocalist, and spoken word performer whose work illuminates the landscape of love, loss, resilience, and human connection. A master of lyrical and imagist poetry, Jude crafts luminous narratives that resonate with profound emotional depth. Her poetry, celebrated for its musicality and transformative power, has been shortlisted for the Pat Lowther Award, the Gregory O'Donoghue International Poetry Prize, and the Poetic Bond of London. She was also the winner of the Guernsey International Poetry on the Move competition, judged by Sir Andrew Motion. A fearless advocate for empathy and authenticity, Jude's poetry is an invitation to listen, to feel, and to connect. Her work, both intimate and universal, reminds us that even in the darkest moments, light endures. With 14 books to her name, her legacy is one of unyielding truth, breathtaking imagery, and a commitment to illuminating the human spirit. She is a treat to listen to. Jude Neal.
Thank you, Herb. That was beautiful. And thank you everyone for coming out. It's so wonderful to see all your names and that we're all here for the same purpose. And we're all united worldwide for what we believe in. She is
There
there.
you are.
She is there in the change rooms of Liverpool, pulling jeans over knees aching from cold, damp mornings by the Mersey, while a girl 2 stalls down at the older woman's legs once opened by the scalpel of birth, that carried her to funerals for stillborn daughters and the heavy silence of northern prayers. She is there in a Bedouin tent in the Jordanian desert, sun-scored hands, the burnt saffron on her lips. She laughs, then lifts the child of her youngest son's wife, wraps the baby in a cloth stitched by her mother's mother. No one asks her what she's lost. They know by how she holds him. She is there in a Haitian market before the rains, stacking baskets of mangoes on a hip bowed from years of lifting. Her hands move like prayer over papayas and woven mats. She barters with a girl too young to know what it costs to feed 6 mouths on an empty belly. She is there in a coyote kitchen at dawn, grating daikon into bowls of miso, her hair pinned like calligraphy. She bows before the photograph of a son gone to Tokyo and an ancestor lost to war. She sets the table for one with a garden plum and a silence she wears like silk. She is there on the rainy boulevards of Paris, her umbrella useless in the wind. She buys tulips from the Algerian boy and drops them into her handbag beside a book of Neruda poems. A man on a scooter stares through her as if she were scaffolding or sky. She recites a line aloud just to hear herself exist. She is there in her red one piece at English Bay, breasts soft and beautiful, wading into water cold as forgetting. The lifeguards glance, then look away. She carries the weight of women who swam against the current, their names brined into her skin. She walks from the surf like a warship returning to harbor. Silver hair, a flag of brilliant survival. Thank you.
Thank you for making a special effort for this particular program. I know it was a bit difficult for a while. Sritapa Mahanti, India. Sritapa Mahanti is an SAP portfolio manager, poet, nature lover, change maker, and passionate storyteller. She has authored 6 books across various genres, from inspiring nonfiction to imaginative children's stories, each rooted in empathy, emotional growth, and meaningful life reflections. She beautifully captures life's emotions through her stories and poetry, touching hearts with her authentic voice. Sritapa also hosts Brunch with Books, a YouTube talk show that bridges fiction with personal development and life insights. I can hardly wait for this one. Sritapa Mahanti.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Hope you are able to hear me today.
Yeah.
And thank you, Happy, for that beautiful introduction. Before I start, I want to dedicate to every woman whose voice was silenced. Your strength echoes in every word written. I begin with my poem, the first one, She Walks Fast. She walks fast, not because she is late, but because the streets are silent after 8. Hands clenched by her sides as if holding herself together, she has learned to read shadows, not to trust the quiet. A joke from the sidewalk, a whistle in the dark, not a wound you can see, but it still leaves a scar. She shouldn't have to hold her breath, rethink her route, or fear her dress. But here we are, and still. She keeps going, every step with courage, every night survival. But do we see her? Not in the moment, but in the story she is living her whole life. How long will we say, that's sad? Let us raise our voice. When her shakes, let's make the world a safer place. Let her walk slowly. Let her laugh out loud. Let her be free, like she was meant to be. The second one is Invisible Battles. And I've written on the themes of invisible battles of women's mental health. And here it goes. Behind the brightest smile, unseen, a silent war, a daily scene. She fights from the storms within her mind, a quiet strength so hard to find. The world may praise her grace and cheer, yet never see the falling tear. Invisible chains that hold her tight in the darkest hour, she seeks the light. No need for pity, just a hand to gently help her understand that in her pain, she's not alone. A tender heart, a healing tone. So listen closely and softly say, I'm here with you. Come what may, empathy can light the way to the brighter nights and kinder days. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So much passion in readings today. It's amazing. Okay, our next reader is Pallavi Ghoshal of India. Pallavi Ghoshal is a published author. She is the author of the books An Unexpected Detour and The Quest of Vermilion. Her books are available on Amazon and have garnered immense love and appreciation from readers. Her book, The Quest of Vermilion, has been featured on the Asian Literature. An Unexpected Detour has gained an award nomination recently. She worked with Siddharth Sen, a best-selling author, in the book My Life in Poems. She has co-authored in 15 other anthologies too. She also runs a startup, and she is the co-founder of Cinedrama Entertainment, which specializes in audio story production and allied services. When not writing, she explores art and loves to escape into the serene cradle of nature. Good contrast. She also hosts authors and runs her own podcast through Cine Entertainment. Take the microphone, please, Pallavi Ghoshal of India.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the warm introduction and a warm welcome. It's really a wonderful feeling to, read out my poems to such a huge audience here. So, yeah, I hope I'm audible.
Yep. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'll be reading the first poem, The Swimming Across. So this poem I have written in collaboration with Dr. Siddharth Sen, who is also present here in the meeting today. He has been my co-author in the book My Life in Poems. So this poetry is for all those women who are seen as an epitome of strength, but nobody knows the struggles and what all she had gone through. So this one is dedicated to all those women. It's called Swimming Across. I'm reading it now. Testing waters, gigantic waves scared me once. And now I stand at the shore. The fear of drowning has vaporized. Looking at the waves, I greet my wit that allows me to stay at a safe distance, hugging patience for being in my stride. Patience that asks me to wait until the devouring waves recede. For now, I know and believe these waves were meant to make me a better swimmer. Come what may, the tides will equip me with a newfound strength to prepare for comebacks after each gruesome setback. There is magic in learning through it all. There is magic in tunneling through dark alleys, the magic of resilience, the magic of tenacity. Thank you. And there is another poem, The Woman in Me. So that is again dedicated to all the strong women out there. She dances in the rain, giggles like a kid, for she knows what it's like being in encapsulating pain, how scary it is to be in a void. Gusts of gigantic storms bruise past. Darkness, magnified with bolts of thunder, engulfs her soul. She chooses to voyage alone, surfing towards the light. She knows neither the tempest would last nor the inflicting plight. A stalwart spirit with a loving heart, tenacious in the face of clouds, dense enough, shrouding her path as she glides past, embracing her journey with valiance, with dreams in her eyes and gleaming hope. She plunged into deep waters with a soul full of radiance, emerging back, repositioning her crown, rafting across boldly. She chose to roar back, not to succumb to the waves. The world sees her smile, startled by her vibrancy, shimmering bright. Folks who once wished to demolish her spirit got illuminated, catching a glimpse of a transcending light. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Such passion and musicality going on today. It's a great way to get through the messages. George Colburn, your turn, buddy.
Well, thank
George
you.
Colborne is an award-winning, internationally known poet. He was awarded the Veterans Voices Award from the Minnesota Humanities Commission, has published 4 books of poetry, has appeared in numerous poetry anthologies and literary magazines, and his poetry has been featured in 2 Minnesota State Park Poetry Nature Walk. He reads his poetry at various venues throughout the Twin Cities, including a monthly Zoom poetry reading for Bird's Nest Open Mic for an international audience of poets. He is a veteran of the Vietnam War and writes often of these experiences and difficult lessons learned. As the son of deaf parents, his work is strongly influenced by his experience acting as an interpreter for his parents and the larger world, and by his exposure to the deaf community. These experiences have engendered in him a love for language, clarity, rhythm, and the craft of writing. He is a lifelong resident of St. Paul, Minnesota. And you are known to write short poems, George, so you certainly have the right to read 2 or even 3 on this occasion.
Thank you very much, Herb. And I want to also extend my gratitude to Paramita and the University of South Australia. It's a joy to be part of this wonderful literary gathering, and I appreciate you all. Thank you. The first poem I'd like to read is about a particular tragedy in Southern Africa, but unfortunately it is more than that. It's in many, many places around the world. It's called Nuns in the Minefield. Without hesitation, they probed soft earth with long sticks, extended shovels, and prayer, hitching up their habits not to let them disturb the earth around bare, hardened feet. Tremulous, yet tenacious purpose, marked by bedding wrapped across heaving chests. There was nothing else to do but save the school children from playing in the killing fields of war. This place, that it even exists, tars pieces of humanity with the bloodiest of brushes. That it remains battle's afterthought, long after generals' ambitions fade, requires the softest steps, the most gentle persuasion to prevent death's playground from hurling sinless souls into God's unwilling hands. The second one I'd like to read is called When Kindness Goes. When kindness goes, there is no replacing it. A tender hand across yours, the welling tear in someone else's eye that is there for you. When another goes out of their way to be sure you are taken care of, that you know something that might be important to you and to your life. The kind of kindness that engenders more from you than you might otherwise give, that speaks its own name so loudly it must be replicated in 1,000 ways to everyone you touch. When kindness goes, there is nothing. Thank you.
Thank you, George. Amazing work you do. Dr. Siddhartha Sen of India is an engineer by profession, is a poet at heart, and a storyteller. Purpose clarity coach, change maker, and a nature lover. He paints stories from his palette full of vivid experience gained through the travels to 350 plus places worldwide from the east to the west, and is actively involved in green-friendly initiatives. He earned his doctorate in sustainable living, leading to abundance through his clarity counseling. And he has written 25 plus books in a short span of 2 years. He is fondly known as Mr. Bookstore and can be reached at www.siddharthasen.com. The microphone is yours, Doctor.
Thank you, Hari, for the introduction, and really thankful to the members here and Paramita for inviting, and my friend Shitapa, who was uh, bringing this invite to my inbox. I'm going to share two poems today, and both of them are very personal because one of them is about the person I love the most, and the other one is about a woman who showed me how uh, how much brave women are. And I start with the first poem, which is from my book, My Life in Poems, which I shared with Pallavi Ghoshal, who was a co-author who just spoke. The poem's name is The Namesake Free Society. Am I really free in an independent society where professions are chosen by gender, follow restrictions, don't voice, don't appeal, imprisoned minds, empty logic, no use of plea? Am I really free? In an independent country where the society scrutinizes relations because the women wanted divorce, but unquestioned infidelity roaming free. Am I really free? Or it's a tale of some shackled city when at work eyes roll at thee. Is it her skills or talent, or they stare with glee, or because she is a girl, vicious eyes unbuttoning thee? Am I really free? When will I live independently, with all minds having beautiful thoughts, and stay healthful, happy, blessed, no jealousy? Is self-nurturing possible like a mother tree? Am I really free? And my next poem is from my book Petrichor, which is when I lost my mother, and it's a deeply personal poem which I'm going to share now. When I lost my mother, the grief was an ocean too vast to measure, too deep to understand. It was not a wound that healed, but a river one must learn to sail. Through the mist of sorrow, I realized something profound. I was never truly alone. Mother Nature, in her infinite tenderness, cradled me all along. Every sunrise, every falling leaf, every sudden dance of deer across the meadow, they were her ways of telling me, I am here like your shadow. Yes, that's why I'm the little child in her lap, barefoot, laughing, discovering the scent of the earth after rain every time, perhaps, feeling the pulse of life beneath my palms. Without my mother by my side, I have found her again in every realm, in the flight of the cranes, in the song of the river, in the patience of the mountains. She watches me still through the magnificent creatures I meet, blessing me, whispering through winds, kissing my forehead, making every morning sweet. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Being half artist and half scientist, I write about our psychological terrain through the imagery of everyday life. This is why I write from the perspective of my terrain, shining lakes in Minnesota or delicious deserts of Arizona, regardless if it seems so different in the way I breathe in each. As I live in two different climates, I also listen and observe in place with a great sense of place as we all grapple with this new sense of identity, direction, and perhaps hope. Originally from Minnesota, I spent half my years living in 20 miles south of Tucson with my wife, Paula, in a nearby acquired home. A newly acquired home. I also enjoy photography, storytelling, and healing arts. I have been writing 65 of my 78 years. So take it away, Greg.
This is one I just wrote yesterday. It's called The Day, Just a Friday. Didn't plan it that way, but when it's humid everywhere. Air conditioning is just another joint adjuster. Earbuds uplift beyond my cell's insistent warnings. Been advised by good viral training, don't need to buy their protection. Changed my Google password. Wow, it's smarts. Life on logs begins to start, for better or for worse, till phone death do we part. We all live on after meta. We know condolences at birthdays stow. Our ship of state, it lists with Taco Don trades and a scapegoat Fed Reserve head that the tempest flares at, but still keeps us from sinking to Don's depths. All things come to pass, empires rise and fall, but our precious lives continue under Vesuvius's molten lava. There is no insurance in climate change. Denial closes in on all of Don's supporters. Who knows what class will finally rise up amidst the cacophony's din? Once a farmer, now a techie, the plow looks different, but feet still feel good on the earth. Who knows where the clock ticks? Fear breeds fear, so stay in the moment that has everything you need. The other everything contains all the stories. The third everything is the time we hear ticking.
The last speaker we have on the program is Greg Rudd. Being half artist and half scientist, I write about our psychological terrain through the imagery of everyday life. This is why I write from the perspective of my terrain, shining lakes in Minnesota or delicious deserts of Arizona, regardless if it seems so different in the way I breathe in each. As I live in two different climates, I also listen and observe in place with a great sense of place as we all grapple with this new sense of identity, direction, and perhaps hope. Originally from Minnesota, I spent half my years living in 20 miles south of Tucson with my wife, Paula, in a nearby acquired home. A newly acquired home. I also enjoy photography, storytelling, and healing arts. I have been writing 65 of my 78 years. So take it away, Greg.
This is one I just wrote yesterday. It's called The Day, Just a Friday. Didn't plan it that way, but when it's humid everywhere. Air conditioning is just another joint adjuster. Earbuds uplift beyond my cell's insistent warnings. Been advised by good viral training, don't need to buy their protection. Changed my Google password. Wow, it's smarts. Life on logs begins to start, for better or for worse, till phone death do we part. We all live on after meta. We know condolences at birthdays stow. Our ship of state, it lists with Taco Don trades and a scapegoat Fed Reserve head that the tempest flares at, but still keeps us from sinking to Don's depths. All things come to pass, empires rise and fall, but our precious lives continue under Vesuvius's molten lava. There is no insurance in climate change. Denial closes in on all of Don's supporters. Who knows what class will finally rise up amidst the cacophony's din? Once a farmer, now a techie, the plow looks different, but feet still feel good on the earth. Who knows where the clock ticks? Fear breeds fear, so stay in the moment that has everything you need. The other everything contains all the stories. The third everything is the time we hear ticking. It's a blur of periods that have no point. Stay in the first everything for now, and fear not the sudden rumors of time. Thank you.
You done great. Okay.
We have Ivy Rahman. Ivy, she's a writer, poet, social worker who was born and educated in Bangladesh and has lived in Canberra for over 3 decades. She has been writing since her school days and has published several books in Bengali and one in English. Ivy is here.
Thank you, Paramita, and thank you, Herb. Hello to everyone. Nice meeting you, and thanks to Paramita to invite me for such a beautiful platform. I'm honored. I will recite my poem, and this poem is to dedicate Abhaya. And pardon me when I will recite my poem. My poem is in Bengali. My mother tongue is Bengali. I'm from Bangladesh. And Paramita may be forgot to inform that by profession I'm a lawyer. And in Australia, I'm doing my public service and consulting with a law firm. অভয়া তোমার জন্য এই দূর প্রবাসে বসে আমি অজস্রবার কান্না করেছি আর করেই যাচ্ছি। আমার প্রার্থনা উত্তাল হয়েছে তোমার শেষ যাত্রার কথা ভেবে, অভাবনীয় রকম অমানবিক এবং অন্যায়ের হাতে। অভয়া তুমি কি জানো, শুধু তোমার জন্য ৩৫১ দিন আমি অভিশাপ দিচ্ছি, ক্রমাগত থুতু দিচ্ছি সেই সব কুৎসিত হায়েনাদের। চোখ বন্ধ করলেই ভেসে ওঠে তোমার মুখ অভয়া। আমি ক্রোধে, আক্রোশে, ঘেন্নায় পাগল হয়ে যাই। ৩৫১ দিন ধরে আমার অভিসম্পাতে কালো হচ্ছে নীল আকাশের কোন এক গোপন কোণ। ক্ষয়ে ক্ষয়ে যাচ্ছে ওই হায়নাদের অবস্থান, তাদের অর্জিত যে কোনো কুৎসিত অর্জন। যদিও তারা এখনো টের পাচ্ছে না, কিন্তু খুব ধীর গতিতে এগিয়ে আসছে প্রচণ্ড ভয়াল এক করুণ পরিণতি, যা অনেক বেশি কঠোর এবং কঠিন। যা তোমরা অভয়াকে দিয়েছিলে তার চাইতেও শত সহস্র গুণ বেশি। তোমাদের জন্য সহজ কোনো মৃত্যু আমার কাম্য নয়, তোমাদের জন্য হুট করে চলে যাওয়াও আমার কাম্য নয়, তোমাদের জন্য এক ঝাঁক বুলেট আমার কাম্য নয়, তোমাদের জন্য আমার এবং আমাদের কান্না এবং চাওয়া রক্তগঙ্গা এবং লেলিহান আগুনের স্রোতধারা, যাতে তোমরা নিমজ্জিত থাকবে তোমাদের অন্তিম মুহূর্ত পর্যন্ত, যাতে তোমাদের সর্বাঙ্গ চূর্ণিত এবং গলিত হবে, যাতে তোমাদের দেহ টুকরো টুকরো কাগজের মতো ঘুরতে থাকবে রক্ত এবং আগুন স্রোতে, যাতে তোমাদের মরণ চিৎকার তোমাদের পরিজনদের কর্ণকুহরে পৌঁছবে না, যাতে তোমাদের পরিজনদের চোখ দেখবে না তোমাদের গলিত এবং চূর্ণিত দেহাবশেষ। আমরা প্রত্যক্ষ করেছি অভয়া এবং তার স্বজনদের ক্রন্দন, হাহাকার এবং অসহায়ত্ব। আমরা প্রত্যক্ষ করেছি তাদের প্রতি তোমাদের ভয়াল নৃশংসতা, পশুত্ব আর নির্মম অবিচার। আমরা প্রার্থনা করেছি, শোক করেছি, করেছি যা কিছু করণীয়। আমি বসে আছি আজ অভয়ার ছবি হাতে। আমি লড়াই করে যাচ্ছি অভয়াকে শান্তি, ন্যায় বিচারের শান্তি এনে দিতে। আমি মনে মননে ধারণ করে আছি অভয়াকেই এবং শুধুই অভয়াকে। ৩৫১ দিন ধরে আমার একটাই প্রশ্ন, নিজের এবং তোমাদের কাছে, সমগ্র পৃথিবীর কাছে, অভয়াকে ছিল কোনো অন্যায়ের বিরুদ্ধে প্রতীক? অনেক ধন্যবাদ। Many thanks to you.
You so very much. Well done. She smiles in the kitchen. She smiles as she dances in the kitchen, from icebox to sink to counter to stove, humming as she goes, happy as a lark. But is she? Some melancholy cloud hangs. What strange passings haunt her mind? What secret tragedies hang as clouds? There is something about her movements, some strange, inexplicable terror awaits. Exposure to ruin, eh, exposure to ruin the patina of happiness. What spoiler of contentments? Something not yet explainable, too painful to talk about, too dangerous to expose. Something. She thinks of her sister back there. She smiles in her kitchen now that they are gone, like half of the roof and two of the walls. They had come, they had bombed, they had raped, and they had left. And she was hanging on to the tatters of her self respect, carrying on, duty bound, still filled with the love for her wee daughter, resting behind the rubble, hidden from the raid and the raiders. She had started a small fire with smashed furniture pieces, salvaged an iron frying pan, and scrounged 3 eggs from a hen resting on a broken couch. Yet she sings in her happy place, her refuge, her place of celebration and former happiness. She sings in her kitchen, her now open air kitchen, pining for her fighting husband defender. She sings for her wee babe to give her courage, to remind her of love. Night still, night will soon be coming into this night of the empty shirt. She will hold her daughter so close to her, and she will sing songs of hope. Pray for the day that things are set right. Woman, goddess or sidekick or nurture, Jezebel or enabler, lover or cheater. Some women have some of these traits, some have the best of them, but every woman has something going for her. And every woman I have ever met has had some deep effect on me. Almost invariably, I am in awe of them. I have learned so much from women, mostly by example and by sources. I draw inspiration from them. And as for the naughty ones, well, I learned to better behave. Something about the little boy and the working mother sticking for life. Something intangible, instinctive, something eternal, something Gaia, some kind of love. I love their strength, their good sense, their nurturing. I love that I have absorbed so much of the better parts of them. Woman, such a basic and essential part and partner with man, lover, teacher, example. Only God keeps that winning formula. Thank you, everybody, for a wonderful program today. Everybody was inspiring, and the beauty of the language is wonderful. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, Paramita.
Thank you. Before we finish, before we close this evening, I would invite Mr. and Mrs. Debnath. আপনাদের কিছু বলবেন আপনারা? আসুন আপনারা কিছু বলুন, আমরা তারপর ক্লোজ করব। হ্যাঁ, বলুন।
I am Shekharan Devnath, the Abhaya's father, Arjikar victim father. It is my new address, but when my daughter is, we are a doctor's father and mother, but now I am a Abhaya. My daughter's name is backside of the page now. Abhaya is my daughter. My family's all world is my family now. All are trying to help me for justice. But Calcutta police or CBI cannot try this. The Supreme Court, Indian system, Supreme Court taken this case suo moto, but he did not have any advice by CBI. But the CBI clean chief the Calcutta police in courtroom in lower judicial जो in Kerala. It is a very, very bad thing of my country. Two part of the investigating agency, state police or central CBI, but two or adjusting, he did not try any another success of this case. Calcutta police arrest Sanjay Rai and CBI stamped this investigate and Kolkata police. But High Court and Supreme Court, Pardiwala says he did not see this investigate in his life. Or in High Court, Chief Justice said that every item of evidence and case diary took over in courtroom the CBI. But CBI taking this case, he is clean chief the Calcutta police. It's very, very hopeless that Calcutta police do not nothing this investigating and CBI do not nothing this investigating. We try the courtroom to demand the justice and day to day to go to door for my daughter's justice in day to day. We are 3 or 4. This is not thing. We demand justice.
Yep.
We demand justice.
We all demand justice.
Thank you all.
বলুন
আমি বাংলাতেই বলি।
নিশ্চয়ই অবশ্যই।
অনেক দেখেছিল ছোটবেলা থেকেই এবং খুব পরিশ্রমী, সৎ, সব গুণ সম্পন্ন ছিল আমার মেয়েটা। আমরা ও নেই তাতেও আমাদের অনেক গর্ব যে আপনারা সবাই পুরো বিশ্ববাসী আমাদের পাশে আছেন। ওর অনেক স্বপ্ন ছিল, সব স্বপ্ন শেষ করে দিয়েছে। আরজিকর আমাদের সব থেকে বড় হসপিটাল, সেখানের কতগুলো দুষ্কৃতী 9 আগস্ট 2024 সব স্বপ্ন শেষ হয়ে গেছে আমাদের। বেঁচে আছি শুধু মেয়ের বিচারের অপেক্ষায়। আপনারা সবাই আমার পাশে আছেন, এই জন্য আপনাদের ধন্যবাদ জানিয়ে ছোট করব না। আপনারা সবাই আমার ফ্যামিলি। তবে আপনাদের কাছে আমি অনুরোধ রাখবো, আপনারা আপনাদের তরফ থেকে আমাদের দেশের প্রধানমন্ত্রীকে বা যে আমাদের বিদেশ মন্ত্রী আছে তাদেরকে যদি চিঠি দিয়ে জানান এই আমাদের ব্যাপারটা, তাহলে আরো আমরা কৃতজ্ঞ থাকবো। ধন্যবাদ।
নিশ্চয়ই
আমাদের ঘরে সুজয় অনলাইনে আছে, সুজয় কিছু বলছে। সুজয় দত্ত।
অবশ্যই সুজয় দত্ত, প্লিজ টেক দ্য মাইক্রোফোন।
রাতের দখল নাও বন্ধু, রাতের দখল নাও তোমরা, রাতের দখল নাও, রাতের দখল নাও, রাতের দখল নাও তোমরা, রাতের দখল নাও বন্ধু। রাক্ষসে দিন ঘাবড়াচ্ছে, রাক্ষসে দিন ভয় পাচ্ছে, এই বুঝি ধরা পড়ে গেল তার, আধারে লুকোনো প্রাণ ভোমরা। রাতের দখল নাও বন্ধু, রাতের দখল নাও তোমরা, রাতের দখল নাও, রাতের দখল নাও, রাতের দখল নাও তোমরা, রাতের দখল নাও বন্ধু।